You know what the best thing to do in the stream is just start streaming in the middle of a sentence, which we're doing now. Yeah, apparently it's funny it took this long because like right at the beginning here, this tweet is from 2012. And it's like, why is it from 2012?
We're going to find out it's not actually ancient history.
This was Doug just walked away. He just couldn't handle it.
Oh no, I have my headphones on. I can hear you when I'm walking in the other room.
You can hear him. Wow, technology is amazing.
Yeah, it's those Apple.
Why are we being compared to area of control?
I don't know, but
some kind of RTS lingo.
Yeah, area of no, it's Age of Cthulhu, I believe is what
Age of Consent. Always learn the age of consent laws in your state.
Yeah, or state, city, country, wherever you may be. So yeah, the Donal DeLay, as we did that painfully long deep dive last week about basically how he ripped off Nasser. He promised Nasser half of the
most embarrassing, the most humiliating embarrassment I've ever heard someone do to themselves, and they didn't even have a chance to say anything.
Yeah, and then this came out about Donal afterwards, which now the date's interesting because this tweet he has tons and tons of tweets actually saying the words "my wife's boyfriend" unironically. He's actually
so many times.
Yeah, I think somebody on Kiwi Farms found all this shit, which I have to say, Kiwi Farms, thank you, I suppose, in this case.
For a change.
For a change. But, yeah, don't get used to hearing that, though. But somebody just looked through his Twitter, searching through his Twitter account. Like, if you search for @DonaldT_DeLay and then the words "my wife's boyfriend" on Twitter, all this stuff would come up. Now, they may not anymore. He may have went into what they refer to as DFE, which is delete fucking everything. But it's too late for this, and somebody archived, I think, every single tweet where he said the words "my wife's boyfriend," and there was like 60 of them. And it goes to show, 2012.
That predates the meme.
Yes, exactly. But it's 2012. It actually, it came before that whole era. And I think this was around the time of the re-election of Obama, where everyone was starting to think, everything's going to become more permissive. Degeneracy is going to be okay. It was before the big backlash against degeneracy that really came around the last few years.
I thought this guy was supposed to be like a pro-conservative. He's part of a pro-conservative comics movement. What's he doing here?
Yeah, he probably goes
grifting.
Yes, I believe that's the word, is grifting.
Yeah, he was a joke before the meme was funny. That's great.
Yeah, but good for him. Congrats, he played himself. But these days, I'm sure he wears a giant crucifix, though, probably the size of his legs, like Ethan Van Sciver. His good friend, Ethan Van Sciver.
He tried to climb up to nail himself to it, but he can't even lift himself.
So this guy is doing comics he's drawing Cash Grab, I think.
He's not drawing much of anything.
Well, it's the sad thing is, I think he's actually still technically finished more comics than Ethan Van Sciver, but that's saying like nothing at this point. But what else did he do? I don't actually. I think it was Cash Grab, and I think Vestige.
I know he didn't do his wife.
He did. Yeah. No, he had someone else do that. He should have. The same way Ethan should have someone else do his comics for him. Donal had someone else do his wife for him. But so he was doing comics for War Campaign, the doxing ring that Ethan Van Sciver used to control until last month, when now they all hate each other, which was completely inevitable. That was always going to happen.
And we've been sitting back here laughing about it and ignoring it.
Having a good laugh at his expense.
They eat their own, as it were.
Yeah, in a way, it
feels like he's stuffed to the gills.
What's that? Yeah, that's right.
When they won't be able to finish. That's the thing, is they can't even finish themselves because it would involve so much eating.
Like when SJWs eat each other, it's like, kind of a light snack. But when Comicsgate eats each other, it's like an 8,000 course meal that you still have to push half of it away. You're going to look like Mr. Creosote by the end of it. Then again, all of them already look like Mr. Creosote. But
gotta head to the vomitorium.
Yes. or just get me a bucket. Yeah, that's right.
Get me a bucket.
You may have to explain that reference to DA Talks. It's going to be like about 20 years before he was born.
That's right. I'll have to get out a Rosetta Stone and translate the ancient cuneiform for DA Talks.
The ancient
thing I once heard of. I believe it was shot on something they call film.
Celluloid.
Carved into the runes.
Yeah. What was the actual thing that Doug was just disgusted that DA Talks barely recognized? Do you remember what it was? DA or Dean, whatever?
No. I have no clue.
Something from a couple weeks ago. You were like, oh, there's this really old movie called...
I made fun of it in the chat. I don't remember what it was.
Avengers Endgame or something. It was from so long.
so long ago.
There used to be this guy named Bill Murray. He was in this ancient movie called Ghostbusters. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But anyways,
have you ever seen this really old movie called The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh God.
Yeah, he's like, when I was a kid, and he's like, when I was a kid.
There's too much boomer going on.
Hollywood came out.
Too much boomer going on. I'm a millennial, guys.
When Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, and then I started to drive.
that is disgusting.
Remember back in the days of Hollywood before all the pedophilia?
No, I don't. This whole stream was actually a trap. We were going to pretend to attack Donal DeLay's comment, but we're actually here to attack DA Talks.
We're here to destroy Dean.
Yeah.
Damn it!
You infant.
I should have known better.
Put your milk bottle down.
Comicsgate warned me about you guys.
Yeah,
they warned me about you, Doug, and the SWC brothers.
Drivers training.
We're part of
the tribunal.
Yeah, this is a tribe. Yeah, this is part of we're War Campaign 2.0 now. We're here to attack all of the people who should be on our side for no reason, and we don't know why. Anyways,
good business model.
Yeah, we're getting so rich. You're going to insult us about that, but look at how rich we're getting. We're going to do it about that.
I get to order off of something off of more than just the dollar menu. No,
that's right.
You could just have.
I'm almost ready to order off the senior menu.
Yeah,
you guys could just have Donald's wife's boyfriend's pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which I'm sure is quite wonderful. So the first tweet I saved was my wife Donal saying, "My wife's boyfriend Caleb Kane," and you were enjoying Caleb Kane because like every good comic book, it's got a alliteration right in the name. That's the only way to have a good character.
It's a form of alliteration.
That's good, but he just pulled off a really nice romantic gesture for his wife that he was glad to be. Again, this is even in 2012. This is pathetic. This is not cool. This is not
with the alliteration. It makes me think that the guy's actually fake, and he's just trying to pretend that his girlfriend or his wife has a boyfriend, so she's just not cheating on him regularly.
Yeah,
I'm okay. It's cool. I'm cool with it.
He's not even cool enough to get a wife's boyfriend. What a loser! This loser motherfucker.
He pretends to share in her success.
Yes, good job, Donald. But the other one though is because this is going to be a regular theme throughout the comic itself. In fact, is making pizza using my wife's boyfriend's recipe. You may not have some because I will murder you over a slice for reals with a Z. Very reminiscent of Juno in tweet form. And
he's on he's making a tweet from his hamburger phone.
That's one. Oh yeah, wasn't it? That's one doodle that can't be undid. Home skizzle or whatever. God, that's right at the beginning of Juno, and that's when I almost just checked out of the entire movie, and then I just turned it off. Like
Rainn Wilson, what are you doing?
Yeah.
When she said, "Oh my blog."
Oh yeah. Oh God. You know what's really
Juno's the movie of my people, millennials.
Yes,
I don't know
yeah,
what you're
that's
talking
right.
about.
And that is why you are hated.
Yes, deservedly. That's why we're holding this tribunal against you. But here's another tweet. Now, to explain, this isn't an actual picture of Donald's body, just his face, which looks like it's imploding, by the way. His face looks like it's like being sucked into itself. He looks like
if you've ever seen those memes about the Untermensch, and it's usually the fat neo-Nazi.
Yeah, who's not cool.
Who was immediately compared, just put into comparison.
You know what's sad is that the body that Donald's head is being photoshopped onto might belong to a cooler person than Donald.
This might?
Yeah, his wife's boyfriend.
I don't know. I don't know how it could be worse, actually.
Yeah, at this point. But yeah, the tweet says, my wife's boyfriend made homemade pizza. Come get some suckas. It's delicious. Now he's sharing. This is a complete contradiction. Personally, I disapprove. Because at this one, he was saying, you won't have some because it's all for me. But then he's like, go ahead and have some.
He's literally threatening to murder people.
It's actual threat. My life is threatened right now.
His wife's boyfriend probably had a stern talking to him.
Yeah, don't threaten the customers. It's all about respecting the customers, That's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they say that a lot.
I mean, you know how much Comicsgate respects its customers, after all. When it's not doxing them or brigading against them, pulling them.
We respect the customers, TM.
Yeah, it should have. They should trademark that. You know what they can't trademark? Comicsgate. They can't trademark Comicsgate. That won't happen. So
we just don't want religion and politics and divisive politics in our comics. TM.
Wait, no, we don't want to give any gay sermons about how Christianity is good.
Oh yeah, my comics. How my comics are full of those gay sermons.
Yeah, exactly.
Sermonize it.
Where Jesus comes down and blesses Earthworm Jim with the super suit. Yeah, I remember that part.
Divisive, full of divisive politics.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I believe it's pronounced divisive.
It's not divisive, it's divisive, which is different. It's completely different.
Oh, it's a whole new thing. But it's
literally different.
It's literally a different thing. But
like trolling.
Also complaining about gay sermons while you're wearing a giant cartoonishly large crucifix on stream every single day while continuing to not work on your comic. That's not Doug, of course. That's Ethan.
Of course not. I do not wear a crucifix, and I do work on my comic.
You actually do. In fact, you stream you working on your comic, which might be a good idea. If you're going to work on
how much more money you would make.
Even this, I'm sitting here, I'm writing Bigfoot Bill 3 while I'm on vacation.
Holy shit. What are you doing? You're just doing everything wrong.
You're supposed to be on Twitter acting a fool, cussing out fans.
This is how I have a vacation, so I can enjoy it as I work.
Yeah, and then
it's the only way I can relax.
You got to be like begging for donations as you cry about people attacking you all the time.
Yeah, everybody super chat SWC. Everybody super chat SWC.
Yeah, right.
The goal, if you're in the audience right now, is to pay a super chat to railroad the content of this show way off the rails into something stupid.
Yeah, please send us a super chat. All you have to do is, that's right, you can't. But
rip off. Because it'd be great for $2, you can get them to say fart, which is what a lot of my Mecca McCheese did that to me for like 2 years. They go fart, and I didn't know who he was. Mecca McCheese was. I just go, okay, $2 super chat. Fart.
Thanks, Mecca.
Thanks. Now he's on my show like he's a normal guy. He's a guy who for 2 years would super chat the dumbest things for $2,
which is
to
like
railroad my show.
Sounds like Mecca.
Yeah, that's very Mecca. It doesn't sound like Mike Oxmall, though. Mike Oxmall.
Mike Oxmall would never do that.
Yes.
He just wants receipts.
Yes.
Mike Oxmall is my favorite caller from the two-bar prank calls.
Yeah. And his friend Alcoholic. Yeah. Okay.
Alcoholic!
It's our alcoholic here. Yes.
So is this a web? Is this a web comic?
Yes, it is. It's a web comic that he actually posted to Tumblr strangely enough, because he posted these to Tumblr about the time that shitty webcomics existed, and I never seen this comic before. But I have seen Lunar Baboon, which we did review that, and the guy who made that found out about us and sent all his angry fans to fucking brigade and yell at our YouTube video.
Which just basically helped to platform us further.
Yeah, it's like one of our few massively viral, and by massively viral, I mean it has about 5,000 views. Wow.
It just went nuclear.
Yeah, I think that's worth like 20 cents on YouTube if we were monetized, which we aren't and never will be. Anyway,
That's
so
because you guys live like at home with your mom in your guys' basement, right?
in the same
That's what I've
room,
heard.
in
The same room in a basement. In the basement, in our mom's basement with our mom too. She's also in the basement.
Yeah.
She also lives in the basement somehow.
the rest of the house is just empty. It's kind of weird. I don't know, but I
And
mean,
also, it immediately disproves that all the fraud that comics grifters and war campaign, all the stalking and harassment, all the stuff that they've been proven to have done, somehow it disproves it. I don't know how. It's just their brilliant scheme.
as Ethan referred to recently, all your gay ops and all your evil, which oddly enough he was completely fine with up until a couple of weeks ago. Nothing changed.
He was fine with it since their inception, the very beginning of their careers.
Since he created
It's once somebody came into like the room with their balls. That's when everything flipped.
as soon as balls were brought into a room, everything went wrong.
You come in here? You come in here with your balls?
With balls. Yes, we did come in. We came in here with balls. I guess other people are going to other places with balls too.
And then we found out that his balls are inert.
The fucking balls are fucking inert.
Explains why his wife has to have a boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone's got to bring some balls into the room. Yeah, in fact, this is Beardo. Oh yeah, one thing we didn't mention ever. I don't think anyone's barely mentioned on any YouTube video, but Panboy, who was going to be on trial, apparently did finally take that plea deal to accept that he is guilty of what he was charged with. Although I think he took some other charge too.
If it's a plea deal, that means he's naming somebody else.
It's like that old wonderful David Lee Roth joke about how he got charged for rape, and he hired OJ's dream team, and they bumped it down to tailgating. Man, yeah,
That is a great. I love rape jokes at your own expense.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's the joke's at his expense. That's okay. But anyways, so yeah,
David Lee Roth. That is one charming guy.
But yeah, so Panboy is guilty. There's not even going to be a trial. He just he pled guilty. So now Ethan Van Sciver is fully affiliated with a criminal organization, officially on law, on the legal paper and all that stuff. So that's probably not good for him. But hey, you know what? I just like comics. Let's read this comic. So this comic starts with obviously.
Yeah, you know me. I don't like to judge people based on their personalities.
Yeah,
or their criminal behavior or anything like that.
Their activity, their words, their deeds. I don't care about any of that. It's not that important. Who cares? Anyways, so this comic, here's the first comic we're looking at. I don't know if this was not on Tumblr or something, but it's some kind of early one where he's just yelling no, and then fucking ladies and some guy shows up and goes, "What happened?" And he says, "I set the oven to broil by accident." How do you do that? Is it possible to set the oven to broil by accident?
No, it isn't.
Well,
there's literally no way.
Other settings, you could be aiming for bake and then overshoot and go to boil.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of information that's missing from this comic. Like, what kind of oven is it?
He's a pretty big guy. His fat could have his fat rolls could have pushed into the button.
Giant sausage link fingers.
He's a big guy for you.
They're literal meat hooks. Look at them.
In this first panel, actually, they're like weirdly deformed fingers. Look at this. Hold on, how many more times can I zoom? Oh yeah, here we go. Perfect zoom in.
Enhance and zoom in.
Yes, but look at his fingers. The way his knuckles are connected.
Shit out of this.
They're actual sausages that look like they were twisted around at the base. So they're I mean, how do you
Different
not
widths at the base.
Yeah, exactly.
Poorly made. So nobody wants to see how the sausage fingers are made.
Yeah, so sometimes you really don't want to see how the sausage is made when it comes to comics. But anyways, though.
The best part though is that like this isn't a character. His web cut comic is actually just his life.
Yeah, it's him. I mean, it's clearly supposed to be him.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Well,
Doesn't even have a title.
2012. So this is like the height of the slice of life, like my life as a comic. Penny
So you're-
Arcade / Sinfest is coming off.
It actually looks like that.
Reminds me of this already reminds me of questionable content.
Yeah, the actual content itself reminds me of questionable content, except almost with even less of a point. I didn't think that was possible.
I think that was possible.
I don't know. I'm getting Doonesbury vibes from that third panel, though.
Yeah, there's a hint of that too. Slightly a hint visually of PvP, I guess, but we're not gonna trash PvP if some people here are friends with the guy. I mean, I've never really read the comics.
I've read PvP, and it's like, oh, there's some jokes here. There's actual jokes here.
Hey, it's good art too. It's mostly about the art. Good art.
Well, yeah, for like a comic strip, it's perfectly straightforward. I mean, the art in this isn't actually bad, aside from the hands. The art in this isn't terrible.
The hands are those pesky hands.
It's good art, which no one ever said of questionable content.
Yeah, exactly. Questionable content is like drag and drop art.
Yeah, he's using essentially clip art. It's like less drawings than fucking Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah, even
I was
Control.
just thinking that.
Yeah, Control-Delete at least has some accidental interest factor. Like you'll never find a bigger meme than Lost.
He clearly has to draw his characters. He doesn't have to draw their faces.
I think he did drag and drop too, though. Buckley did drag and drop at some point, and I think once people started attacking him for it, he stopped doing it. Which
improved. He actually improved it. They criticized him, and now he had to improve.
But he did, and that's the thing is that sometimes shame works. Shame works,
and now we also have to credit him for being capable of proceeding of advancing his art form beyond all these other artists who were criticized, and then they just took to Twitter to whine and engage in cancel culture.
Yeah, or act like, oh, I'm being attacked because in fact that's another thing that Donal did that I didn't even know is that he did a comic for Image. I don't remember what it's called. I don't really care. It was like 5-issue series for Image a few years ago. I think it was like 2017.
Part of their low rent series.
But the thing is that he said they fired him from Image because he defended Richard C. Meyer, and that's such an obvious lie. It's so
not true. Yeah, there's no way.
No.
Image still publishes me, so there's no one they'll fire. They will not. Anyone who publishes me will not cancel anyone.
They'll publish any garbage.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're publishing Donal, yeah, they clearly don't give. They don't have high of a standard.
If they ever publish Donal, yeah, then it's like, how did we not end up getting a comic published in Image? We can't draw
because we haven't tried yet. I sent submissions to Dark Horse. I actually sent a bunch of submissions to Dark Horse, but not really so they would pick them up, but just because it's like, how about it's a justification for writing a whole script.
You need to send them to care of Scott Alley.
I need to do that now.
Care of Dark Horse, care of Scott Alley.
But really, they were submitted to Dark Horse just so you could say, yeah, I tried to be part of this fucking industry, and they didn't want it. So
they blacklisted me. They blacklisted me. Donate to our Patreon. But speaking of which, oh no, what's this? That's it just showed up on the screen. Oh, goodbye, DA Talks. Now we're here with a Patreon link.
Oh, it's perfect.
Damn.
It's actually it's easier to click the link in the below bar actually. So you know what? Let's just go back to that. Anyways, yeah. So the horrific situation in this comic is, oh no, what happened? I set the oven to broil by accident and burned my pizza. Is it really his pizza though, or is it his wife's boyfriend's?
I don't know. Wife's boyfriend's and also his wife's.
Yeah, Kay was right.
He's gonna kill you. He'll still try to kill you though if you try to eat it.
Oh yeah, he'll kill you.
He'll try to murder you over it.
This is why his wife had to get a boyfriend who knows how to make pizza because he's such a fuck up when it comes to making pizza himself.
And she was born after 1992, so she doesn't know how to cook.
She just knows how to eat hot chip and lie.
Yes, McDonald's eat hot chip. What the fuck is hot chip? I don't know. I don't even know what it is.
Like Cheetos, hot and spicy or whatever. I don't know. I don't eat hot chip. I'm not a millennial.
Sounds disgusting.
I've never heard of hot chip.
Isn't it British?
Well, you're also not a female, so
I assume it was
That's the
just
joke.
a
You don't
typo.
know that.
I
I
assume
do.
typo in the meme.
We're assuming your gender, and we refuse to accept any other answer other than our
Exactly.
assumption. Anyways,
Making a huge assumptions, and you know what they say about making assumptions.
that it's,
They're always right.
it's
You're
good.
usually right.
Yeah, it's,
Turns you into an ass and I make more money.
It makes assumption out of you and me.
yes.
Makes an assumption.
And sumptuous.
Assumption, very assumptuous,
Yes, which is for sure a real word. For sure.
and it's also a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a positive thing.
Anyways, so Donald burned his pizza. Horrific tragedy. As he says,
Setting the oven to broil. Usually, ovens have a broiler.
yeah, they have a
The
specific.
bottom of the oven.
Yeah, it's a specific place and a specific setting.
He
completely
knows so
disconnected.
little about cooking. He doesn't even know that this can't happen.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he's digging deep into his imagination to imagine what it would be like to mess up food.
The power of imagination.
Yes, but the thing is, he's clearly going way out of his comfort zone, talking about something he has no idea
He
about.
blew away out of his comfort. He just exploded out of his comfort zone, trying to think of how do I zap fry a pizza?
Yeah, how do you cook badly? Well, you set it to broil.
You don't use the microwave. You use the oven.
Yeah, and it's like no.
He
no,
might
not
as
into
well
that.
have tried to cook the pizza on his stovetop.
That would have worked better. That would
What
have
if
been
he used
more
one of those
logical.
like toaster ovens?
Well, clearly
That would have worked better too, actually.
He wouldn't even know how. A toaster oven would have actually worked, especially for those little pizzas. Bagel pizza bites.
He could have made a bagel bites. I could have eaten those delicious Triscuits. Anyways,
Why is he engaging in such horrid product placement as his comic?
yes, exactly. He's
Trying
shoehorning
to
in
sell
product
pizza.
placement for pizza
Trying to sell pizza
and broilers. Anyways,
Well,
selling on the oven.
If these comics are supposed to be about his polyamorous lifestyle, is the bearded guy with the fabulous hair her boyfriend?
I actually hope so. But there's two chicks.
Could be his uncle. Could
Is the
be
fat
her-
one his wife?
Could be her uncle.
Well, we'll see in other comics coming up that the skinnier one is somebody that he also likes. So I think they're all in this big.
They're
poly-
swingers. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it stops being a cuck and you're a swinger. I guess Donald's actually pretty cool. He's actually not bad.
Yeah, swingers
No,
are
I
the
know.
most annoying, stupid idiots ever.
Actually, yeah, swingers aren't annoying, ugly, weird, awkward, creepy losers. They're totally cool. Except that he can't even make a pizza. I mean, how do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? But he says so. The
That's
terrible,
what his wife's boyfriend's there for.
yes, yeah, to actually make the pizza.
But unfortunately, he didn't wait.
Yeah, well, he should have waited. That's the real lesson of the strip. But the terrible punchline in this, which comes in the third panel, of course, a terrible place for it, is after he says, "Oh, I burned the pizza. I understand suicidal depression now," and then
Way to diminish people with actual suicidal depression.
yeah, like Ethan Van Sciver. But so and then the sub after the sub post punchline is that's a bit of a stretch. That's basically like the punchline being like, "Oh, your behavior is strange." Which is most of the punchlines in anime jokes in all anime that's ever existed for the past 40 years.
Stop creating misunderstandings.
Yes, you're creating them.
We assumed that's what was going on. I have ears.
Yeah, good job spelling out the obvious. Anyways, the next comic, this one slightly better. This one is 2014, Donal DeLay. So this is about the time we were very close to getting banned from Tumblr. While we were getting banned from Tumblr, Donal DeLay was making a comic about being a cuck. But it's polycomic.tumblr.com, which is a dead.
I guess he calls it polycomic because it means it's fake.
Yeah,
All
it's
he has an artificial.
artificially constructed. But anyways,
Like his entire life, his existence.
so him and wife's boyfriend are talking about something, and it just occurred to me that it's Wednesday.
probably Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Haven't watched the new Game of Thrones. There's a yell, ow, and then I don't think there was one this week. And then Donal says, "Did you die?" to the giant ow off screen, which I guess is lovely wifey. Says, "Did you die?" And she just goes, "No." And then so they ignore her, which is almost like a punchline, but it's just
Nearly comedic.
the busy first panel really undercuts it.
And he goes back to playing Cards Against Humanity with
On his phone, which is the gayest. It's actually gayer than being a literal
I'm
cuck
on the,
like Cards Against Humanity.
Well, here, probably a fan of Game of Thrones.
Wait, what was Doug saying?
Thomas Roy Loop. I'm
What?
talking to beloved Miss Tenaple. I'm just telling you
Oh,
where the phone is on, sitting here pointing at our bed.
Yeah, you do need. It always requires explanation. Why are you doing something weird? Just
Yeah, and then I answer her
That's nice,
question, and
guys.
it just raises more like, why would you?
Yeah,
wait a minute?
exactly.
Never mind.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares anymore. But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, let me explain. I'm 53 years old. Yeah.
well, you're almost as old as we are. Oh wait, we're younger than you, but in
Combined.
reverse is what I meant.
Combined.
Anyways, so this next comic is a black guy with a name tag that says nurse sitting at a monitor saying, "I can't believe you let your woman step out with another man. You need to control that." This guy is so based.
That should be the end of the comic right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Here, let me fix this. There, much better. This comic is instantly better.
Wow, we
The
did
voice
that.
of reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Finally, the voice of reason.
That's another funny, odd thing about this comic is several of the strips are about other people's reactions to how Donal DeLay is a cuck loser, weird, mentally ill thief who robs from.
Well, it's kind of like finding
operator.
out that your favorite hobby is that you eat shit, and then you just go around telling everybody you do it, and then everyone's like, "Whoa, why would you do that?" And so now you're going to make a comic making fun of them.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll make a
Spend
web
3
comic.
panels preaching at them about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you know how much better it? Don't you know how healthy it is to eat your own shit?
Yeah, which reminds me of Zen panels, questionable content, XKCD,
Zen
and
pencils.
and I forget what else.
Zen pencils.
Dinosaur one.
Yeah, Zen pencils, a dinosaur comic, I guess.
There was the All Up in That War or something.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, it was All Up in That War, some shit like that.
Was that the delay or not delay, but the Latuff guy?
It was the one that's all clip art and it's all red.
Yeah,
And I know that's not the name, and I
No,
also
but,
know
it was. Yeah, because first of all,
it doesn't
because-
matter.
because who gives a shit? But it was called "Get Your War On," and it was clip
That's
art and all red.
exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, but
It's named some bullshit.
Is he
Yeah,
also
it's
wait,
named some
wait,
bullshit.
okay. They're both nurses, okay? I think that they both have name tags on. I think they're both nurses.
But wait, Donal is more of a nurse than this
He's
other guy.
more of a
Because his
nurse.
scrubs are blue.
Yeah,
He refuses to be recognized as a male nurse, so
Yes.
he's going to drop it on this black guy. He's going to use this black guy as his punching bag.
in the comic, of course. In real life, this never happened. He didn't say
Rhetorical. No, he did not say a single word to this black guy in real life. You know that.
in real life, he thought to himself, "This black guy's talking to me. What do I do? What do I do? This black guy's
In real life, he was like, I think my wife would be interested.
talking." Yeah, it's like I immediately. It's like I mean, clearly, Tug and Ashley need to be involved in this comic somehow. I mean, I think spiritually they are. You can get a hint. This comic's very spiritual, which is for sure. That's why Doug's here, because this comic is so spiritual.
Spiritual
I'm
and
here
not
I'm just here to
religious.
preach. I'm here to preach.
Yeah, you're here to give your gay sermons about
My
how
sermons,
Jesus was.
which I constantly do. I don't
Yes.
have to even give the sermons because it's all over my book.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't stop. Your book is so full of politics. We need to get politics out of comics.
Is it any coincidence that if Earthworm Jim holds his arms out, it looks like the cross? No, it's not.
What were the chances of that happening?
No coincidence at all. That was intentional religious symbolism.
And you know who else looks like a cross when they have their arms outstretched? SpongeBob SquarePants. Clearly, that Earthworm Jim is a ripoff of SpongeBob.
Remember that time SpongeBob SquarePants was holding one of his hands up? He was holding his right hand up to wave to somebody. Didn't that look exactly like the Nazi salute?
I mean, it's also not a coincidence, but hey, aren't we supposed to be doing something else? I don't know. Do I care? No.
We're supposed to be talking about this horrendous, shitty webcomic written by this fed up cuck. He can't stand his life.
This fed up cuck. Web comic.
Web cuck comic.
Cape cuck cupcake. And it's time for a recap of them.
Imagine being so base that you have to tell a black guy that they're people, not slaves.
Yeah, to hate. Let me tell you what slaves are like.
It's the second panel.
Yes, listen here, black person. Don't you know anything about slavery?
Yeah, don't you know anything about slavery, black guy?
Hold on while I lecture you some more.
Let me tell you. And the black guy, I'm sure, would just sit there politely as that happens. He's like, oh, okay. Huh,
no, because then he just berates him for the next two panels, telling him that his girlfriend sucked dick before him, and like, how does his dick taste? Like, what a piece of shit.
He went chat on him.
His logic doesn't really hold up either. He's like, you're just someone else's sloppy seconds. Your fucking wife is already with another guy right now.
No, that's the black guy is telling Donal you're just someone else's sloppy
seconds.
No,
it isn't. That's Donal telling the black guy.
No.
You know how I can tell? No.
He's also calling him a slave.
Do you not understand how I can tell? Because let's face it, look at their heads. Oh, wait. They both look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, the silhouette. I mean, you could tell the silhouette. You could see how distinct they are.
That is a really good lesson that we learned from TF2. The TF2
actually, you're right, though. Yeah. The Team Fortress 2 commentary by Valve points out how every single character has a distinct silhouette. So even if you couldn't see their color or their actual
if they're just a blur flying past the screen, or if they're too far away,
you can still make out what class they are. So you can tell how you're supposed to react to them. Like if it's a scout,
and that they use a specific map, and then they just immediately go to silhouette mode and show that.
Yeah, it's more instinctive for gameplay, whereas in a comic, if you're going to have a silhouette... Now, here's the thing, though. You're actually right. Is right here, like the first and third panel, you can see he's leaning against a table. He's leaning against... His
nose is also smaller.
Yeah, he's leaning against a table, and he's above the black person, because, of course, he has to be above...
He's lording his polyamorous lifestyle over him.
But also, black guy is...
Polyamorous, which means fake amorous.
Yeah. It's like you're saying that because of polyester. Poly means many. That's what it actually means. That's what polyester means. It's just like a combination of.
I refuse to accept that anymore. It means fake.
Okay.
It means fake.
Well, it does.
Like polyamorous.
It does now.
Amorous.
It does now because of Donal DeLay. Thanks, Donal DeLay, for fucking up the language. But anyways, yeah. But here's the monitor, like the top of the monitor, and here's the guy behind it. And you pointed out also the nose. The nose is this specific shape also. Yes,
I didn't notice that. I didn't even notice that.
Me and Vicky read this. Me and Vicky read this. We're pretty sure he just fucked up on the dialogue boxes.
Yeah, I think he swapped them around on accident. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be the black guy saying you're just someone else's sloppy seconds, but it is Donal. It's pointing to Donal.
Not even he knows.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
He didn't get any sleep that night, the night before, because he was too busy listening to his wife and her boyfriend.
Getting railed.
No, this is him being sanctimonious by the fact that the guy is complaining about him sharing his girlfriend with another person.
You're right.
And he's like, you're just someone else's sloppy seconds. And he's like, that's not cool, man.
I didn't notice that because I didn't bother to read any of the third.
It doesn't make sense, though.
No, here's what's happening is the third panel is like, oh, I'd lose it if my girl was with another man. And so Donal says, as his argument for why poly is okay, is like, well, if you have ever been with a girl, she dated someone before you. So Donald's saying to this guy who has a girlfriend, because your girlfriend ever dated someone before you, therefore you are someone else's sloppy seconds. If he ever actually said this to a black guy, believe me, black guy would not be sitting down.
He would not have a head. Donald would no longer have a head.
Yes.
But yeah, here's another question that needs to be asked. If Donald decided to go and have some other woman outside of his relationship with his wife, do you think his wife would be okay with that?
Well, do you guys know how the story ends?
Hopefully it ends with a massive
Okay,
heart attack,
I have a bigger question.
yeah.
The biggest question of all.
Because all of this is insanely baffling to me.
Yeah, this is just
I
one
just want to
scriptural
know.
part.
Let me set this up first.
Yeah.
Because we all know that Comicsgate is a principled movement. That they hold on to a principle no matter who it applies to. They
Respecting
hold
God.
on to it, yeah, regardless. And like Comicsgate and War Campaign, we kink shame Preston Poulter. That guy is psycho. Did you see that guy? That guy is crazy. Who would ever do that?
He had
He's a
gross
literal
sex
cop.
with a
He's
woman that was
insane.
disgusting.
Work. He yeah. That wasn't even his wife. He has Peg. They gave him a big nickname, Peg Poulter. I just want to know now. Does Comicsgate the Donald thing?
But hold on, it cut out. Can you repeat that?
Half of
I can't
that.
hear DA.
But yeah, I think I know where he's
does
going.
Comicsgate know about? Does Comicsgate know about Donald?
Yeah, about this. It's weird because none of this was hidden. And this is, I mean, relative, it's a few years back.
It
but
is
yeah.
some shocking hypocrisy, deep fried hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now that they know about it, and this is Donald, this is the artist on CG only Vestige. This is the flagship of War Campaign. War Campaign, who came out and said, just went on and on, just tried to destroy and tear Preston apart with all their names.
Literally convicted
And
criminals in War Campaign.
actual admitted
Yes.
guilt, apparently. And then all of CG, you psycho, Preston, you psycho. How can anyone peg? Where are they at on Donald? Not that I'm asking for people to call him names. I don't.
Yeah, to be honest,
to tear anyone apart.
This is the least bad thing about Donald that I've heard so far.
Well,
But
so
is not
here's
everyone in all of Comicsgate just going off on Donald right now?
I mean,
Because I don't
maybe
follow any of it. I'm sure
If
there's
they-
like
yeah,
thousands of names on him, thousands of memes trying to absolutely destroy him, and people saying like, "Go guys, do some black ops on this guy. I want a deep dive on Donald."
the same way they did for Preston. Yeah, you would think. I
That
mean,
was
if they hold
principled
to these
on Preston.
principles,
That was all over the kitchen.
yeah.
I
The
just want to
funny-
hear this family, this pro tradition group, CG, that just really needed to clean up comics by really railing on Preston. I wonder how far into Donald are they going? War Campaign.
I wouldn't know because I don't keep up with that either.
yeah, I don't know, but the
I would
funny
bet there's
thing,
nothing.
the
Yeah.
funny thing is that like Preston got
Because
paid.
that would mean for them to do anything would mean they had principle. We knew there was no principle behind what they did to Preston.
Even a
This
bad.
proves they had no principle behind what they did to Preston. It was all fake shock,
Mhm.
fake outrage. No one cares really what Preston did.
Even Kiwi Farms didn't really care about the Preston thing. They were like, "Oh, it's embarrassing," but he responded to it. Whatever. They're actually
So everything CG said about Preston was completely fake, right? It was completely made up, where they only went after him not because of what he did,
because
but
they were mad at him.
because
They were mad at him.
that's right, because they were mad at him. I just want to point that out. That's what we all suspected all along.
That is,
And
yeah.
this
That's
only
what
shows.
Comicsgate. That's really what Comicsgate comes down to is they're mad. That's it. It's not even
I'm
about
thinking of
customer
three.
service.
I'm thinking of three initials a 3-letter initial word of what do you do when you raise a standard on one guy, like an enemy, and then lower it on someone who's acceptable to your tribe? Who does that? Who operates under that principle? Who does that? I'm trying to think of a word.
What is social justice warrior?
Social justice warriors from the playbook.
I thought it was going to
CG is
be
doing a
EVS.
social justice warrior move again.
Wait, EVS. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah,
but-
same thing, identical. There's
EVS.
The funny thing though is like Preston.
They will never lay
Preston,
down a principle like anyone who steps out of traditional relationships, we go after them. No, they'd never do that because that would require them to actually operate under a principle.
Yeah, to care.
It's we will kink shame when we kink shame. We'll make fun of this guy. We'll ignore that, and all really, and has nothing to do with respecting customers, with not blocking backers. All that stuff is BS. Fighting SJWs is BS. All of it's BS. That's my bigger problem. I'm just here on a search mission asking if there's any operating principle that has been going on this last week or this last year. Is there a principle? No.
Well, it's just shifting the goalposts so that they can control whatever narrative fits their money-making script at the time.
Very SJW.
but
Yeah.
Preston got paid to do
And
porn,
typical.
and Donal here, he had his wife leave him for the boyfriend. That's the
I can't
difference.
hear DA talks if he's
Oh, really?
talking, by the way.
You can't hear him?
I can hear him.
No.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear him because whatever is going on with my feed, sometimes it's like if you use something besides. I mean, I'm on my phone, so I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
Doug's got a weird feed, I think. Just
Oh, okay. But yeah, no. Donal's wife left him for the boyfriend.
now you're really loud. Holy
Now
shit.
you're too loud.
Yeah, now
Now
you're
you're too loud. Turn it back down.
What happened? What
I
happened?
better-
Now that's too quiet.
DA says that Donnell's wife left him for the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whereas at least Preston got paid to be in those porn.
But Donald does it for free.
Yeah, Donald
Yep.
does it for free.
Well, there's a difference too between doing something and regretting it and then making amends for it later on and then shitting on other people for doing something that you did in the past, right?
And then
It's like,
continuing to do wrong.
Yeah.
That's all Donald.
Like people are like, oh, Preston's a cuck. But the thing is, that was 10 years ago. And he says, that was a thing. And he doesn't do that anymore. But what
he doesn't actively promote that lifestyle.
Yeah, as opposed
That
to
too.
Umbrella Guy, who's involved in that kind of stuff. His wife asking strange dudes for dick pics.
Oh yeah, Cybercook.
Yeah, all up until just a few months ago, as far as anyone knows, until she got caught. Now that I consider that worse.
I haven't heard him disown her or anything like that.
Or dropkick his 5-year-old daughter off to the curb and say, "Now you get the hell out of here."
Well, I heard that he did do
And
that.
again, given Comicsgate is a movement of principle and went after Preston and all these free things, surely they went after I don't know what Tug's situation is, but surely someone on phishing scams would just get a whole lot of nicknames and just
Phishing scams and doxing, and his wife doxing people. Vicky versus getting doxed by Tug and wife. You think
Supporting
Tug
internet
actually
stalking?
do a walkthrough on how to dox Vicky. I saw him actually do a walkthrough.
Yeah, actually,
And then they blamed her.
on video. Yeah,
He blamed her for them doxing her by saying that she did it to herself.
I think he
Stop
went on.
hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He went on with Liam Gray to say, "Here's how I did it, step by step." But then he said, "But it's not doxing because she had her image is public, and it's not like
Which it isn't.
yeah, it's again
And the CG audience, which is anti-doxing, they all jumped out and just rode Tug, right? I don't see any of this stuff.
yeah they
I'm following
attacked,
it,
they
but I'm
really
sure
attacked him.
They came out and they would never fund his campaign. That would be disrespecting.
Yeah, it wouldn't
customers.
give him
They're not
any money.
Doxing at all, nothing at all. War campaign, even threw Tug under the bus. All of the CG guys who are anti-SJWs and
that didn't
against
happen.
disrespecting back.
No, I love that they all acknowledged it though.
I don't understand.
They acknowledged it, but only to
They all were like, yeah, Tug did it. So what?
Yeah, when we break the law.
Or what Comicsgate will do is be like, I didn't hear anything about that, and instead of being like, let me look into that and see if people on my own side are actually responsible for this, they're just like, I don't care. I don't believe it anyways.
I didn't hear about it, therefore it's your fault. You're lying.
Not even I didn't hear about it, therefore it didn't happen. That would at least
for
be
thee, not for me.
yeah.
Yeah, they seriously actually believe they're above the law. Ethan Van Sciver really thinks he's above the law.
Starring Steven Seagal. But he's not starring Steven Seagal. He's Steven Seagal today. The embarrassing soy sauce hair dyed fat embarrassment.
Hair in a can, spray in a can.
Yes, the spray paint hair.
Hair comes out of a spray can.
No.
Sherman.
He hasn't even Ethan Van Sciver hasn't even risen to that level. He's just a bald, aging embarrassment.
Just rubs dirt around on his scalp.
And his hair falls out more, and then he blames the SJWs.
And he blames
my hair.
He blames us too.
Oh yeah.
He blames us. That's one of their first go-to things. Is as soon as we came up on their radar, calling them out on their lies and crimes, the first thing they did was accuse us of being social justice warriors.
Yeah, I still remember
the thing they said.
Even Umbrella Guy said, "I bet these guys are part of Kick Vic," and it's like I didn't have an opinion about it then, and I don't really have much of an opinion about it now.
I hadn't even heard about it, and then I heard about it, and it's like, oh, it's pretty much like 100% of these water closet faggots.
Yeah, it's like if you want to make anyone look guilty, just have fucking War Campaign support you. That's the thing about Vic, is that now he just looks guilty because of the association with guys like Tug and Yellow Flash, and
I would have been
others I won't name
to defend him by default because I know how common false accusations are against men. But then everybody else on his side was a fucking jagoff. So I was like, well, you know what? Fuck him then.
Fuck the motherfucker. But
that's not necessarily his fault. But every single one of those people needed to fucking actually take a stand. And they never did.
Yeah, to be like, hey, doxing is wrong, and that kind of stuff. Playing the victim all the time is wrong. Here's the problem, though. Comicsgate started with playing the victim before Ethan Van Sciver was even involved. Every single step of, you know how comic book nerds are. They're whiny little faggots all the time. They can't stop. It's in their nature. It's like the scorpion and the...
Oh, there's a new one on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Here. Yeah, I decided to go...
It gets worse because now he's compelled to defend his degeneracy.
Yeah, to the same black guy.
And I feel like he's just trying to live his life, and then Donal will not shut up about being polyamorous. He's like trying to do his job, just trying to punch in and punch out from work.
Yeah. Black guy's like going to work is like, okay, I'm a male nurse.
And the black guy is not agreeing.
Like, yeah, man, sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So you gonna fuck my wife yet?
Needs to be converted.
But also imagine like you're like, paying the bills, you're a male nurse, and then your workmate is explaining to you why polyamory is actually totally normal and okay. And so
next thing you know, he's going to start defending bug chasing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
In fact, that's technically what he's doing when he tries to defend this. He is essentially defending bug chasing.
It's one step removed from that, yeah. But
I don't even know what bug chasing is.
Yeah, what is that?
Bug chasing is when a gay person intentionally tries to get infected with some STD or usually AIDS,
specifically HIV. But in general, this is basically just trying to spread STDs around and justifying it.
They call it the gift. I received the gift.
I have heard of that, and I've heard there was a public service announcement where Harvey Fierstein even told the gay community, like, look, guys, this isn't a good thing to get.
You'd be surprised how common it is.
He's bug shaming. Harvey Fierstein's
A lot of them are so hypersexual that to them, that's like part of the turn on is the fact that it's dangerous too. Yeah. So they want to
believe that
people who are like get off on the fact of spreading it too.
They think it's been cured already.
Yeah, they think AIDS is because you can live no AIDS anymore. So they
you can. No, it's not like 1985.
Yeah, but it's not actually
Rhapsody, which is a terrible movie. because I'm a huge Queen fan, but Bohemian Rhapsody is a terrible movie.
You didn't like the editing? It won an Oscar for that great editing.
It's a terrible movie.
I want
terrible.
to see it, but at the same time, Hollywood just completely fucks up so many of these music biopics.
Yeah, that's why
it's really awkward and boring. It's awkward and
most
weird
of them are just formulaic. It's just that same formula of like, oh, they start off with nothing, then they get really big, but then there's hardships.
Probably also the reason why every single video game movie adaptation ends up sucking is because Hollywood is jealous of the success of the other mediums.
Yeah, so they intentionally
I'm not going to make a good movie. I'm not going to make a good movie about this. This is a fiction.
Yeah, Queen. It's like the Transformers of band movies, and Queen is so much better of a band than that movie is. So
yeah, exactly. It's like
guys,
you can't even capture half.
I'd rather listen to the Highlander soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Queen,
which is good.
Yes.
With Mr. Krabs, what's his name, playing the bad guy in that?
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs, the Kurgan.
Is that
I call him the Kurgan.
Yeah, when we catch up to him in the '80s, and he has his hair slicked back, and he's like got like the black goth circle under his eyes. He is the coolest bad guy ever.
Yes, that's actually why the Highlander is a shitty movie, because the good guy doesn't win. The Kurgan dies. I want the Kurgan to win.
I don't give a shit about this bougie Highlander.
Yes.
He's so...
All right, guys, I got to jump. I got to go to bed.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Doug.
This show's
God bless y'all. Have fun on these wonderful
wants to listen
family
to people.
uplifting comics that we should. This is why I learned to draw. Spent my whole life learning to draw and write. Just bring a little light in the world, like these comics.
Family values being addressed.
Yeah,
now you're learning what you did wrong all these years.
Yes,
all these years.
Yes.
I could have held up Western civilization.
All
right, guys. I'll see you guys.
All right, bye.
Yeah, Doug.
All right.
What a great show we have. We got Doug people on.
Yeah, I'll just manually remove him too.
These other two people on
because I think it's not cashing him out properly. But who cares?
You have to kick him.
I have to kick him. Kick from studio, ban from studio. That's what I should do. I should ban him. But I won't. Anyways,
dunk to Naple.
But so the black guy. That's right. We were reading a comic.
We were actually talking about a comic.
Yeah, the black guy says polyamory sounds crazy, man. I can barely handle dating one girl.
Good point. End of comic. Once again, here's how you can improve this comic immediately. Just crop out the other two panels. Stick with the first panel.
Yeah, that was the CAD rule for Control Delete. Going back to I think like 2009 on V was the CAD rule is you take a Control Alt Delete comic. It's 4 panels usually, just the same copy and paste.
Exactly.
Copy and paste grid. But you take the second and third panel and just delete them and just leave it as 2 panels. And usually
you also remove the dialogue. You remove the dialogue from the 4th panel.
Yeah, entirely. Just leave it as a facial expression or something. Anyway, so
intended to always improve. It's guaranteed to improve every single one of those comics.
Second panel, I was going to say, does his name tag say CNN? He's part of the fake news, but
yes,
I realize actually it says CNA, which is Certified Nurse Assistant or something. I don't know.
So he doesn't even rise.
So not even a real nurse. He's like an assistant nurse.
Fake nurse. You're not even a nurse.
He doesn't even rise to that level.
Jealousy is really just your own insecurity. It's your primal instinct reacting when you see what's subconsciously perceived as a threat, like a better mate.
So, yeah, fucking.
This is what is known as a rationalization.
This is great, though. I love. It's cope. He's
hopeless cope.
He's engaging in some pretty serious cope. But I unironically love this because you really don't get to read a lot of comics outside of, like, I guess, Pumpkin Face or whatever, where a white guy will just straight up lecture a black guy. just right to your face, be like, "Hey, black guy, let me tell you how you're supposed to think."
Listen up, Mr. Nurse.
Non-white
I'm a nurse's assistant. Let me inform you on
Now,
how the
guys,
world really works.
We're viewing this through today's lens, not through the 2014 lens of Tumblr.
24,
This is back when America was still a melting pot of diversity and a utopia of
the racial melting, the racial healing.
Yes.
They were simpler times.
The racial healing of the Obama era.
Yeah, exactly. The
It was a different era back then.
You know what's funny is, again, this is on Tumblr. SJWs should have attacked this comic.
Well, the third panel is actually
nobody likes this.
What is it? The third panel has like the
an actual punchline.
Punchline. So I mean, it's not terrible in the context of the rest of the ones that we've seen so far, but it's still not great.
The others didn't even have a joke. It was just
no.
But anyways, CNA does stand for a certified nursing assistant. I just Googled it.
The joke is Donal every time.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
Whether it's intended or not.
Here's the thing: it does have at least a punchline. The punchline sucks though, because it's black guy's like, "What do you do? Beat your chest to mark your territory?" And Donald says, "Only on roleplay." There should be a laugh track.
And we also that is not true. He doesn't do that because he's not allowed. His wife will not allow him.
Yeah, you're not allowed to
scare the stud. Or the bull. You'll scare the bull.
Yes. Yeah, this takes away his time from prepping the bull. How can he prep the bull and beat his chest? He's can't.
The guy that got that buffet of chips for his girlfriend's boyfriend.
Donald DeLay's the kind of guy who preps the bull so eagerly that he comes, and then the entire night's ruined. He's like, "Nah, I'm spent. Sorry, I don't want to even fuck your wife in front of you anymore."
Thanks a lot, Donald.
Yeah, good job, Donald.
You ruin everything.
You're incompetent even as a cuck, Donald.
You can't even be a cuck, right?
But anyway, so this next comic...
Nobody would like this comic. SJWs would attack him because he's being condescending towards his black friend who he has no actual contact.
They should attack. They should brigade against him like a war campaign does.
That black friend is fucking his wife anyways. He's just playing dumb. Like, that's the worst part.
Yeah, behind his back, it's like, "Hey, I'm in an open relationship." And it's like, yeah, if only you knew how open it was. But
your wife has sickle cell now.
Yeah, she caught sickle cell.
Somehow she contracted sickle
cell. So the wife is a bug chaser too.
Chasing a new kind of bug.
Yeah, the new kind of.
Well, that is if you believe in mitochondrial transmission.
I do because
DNA.
I played Parasite Eve, and
all parts of as we all know, the mitochondria is
the mycochimerism. That's what it is. Where for every person that you have sex with, you get a little bit of their DNA or something like that.
The woman somehow stores the DNA of every male sex partner she ever had in her spinal fluid or something.
Spinal fluid. But also, if you take ecstasy, that also ends up in your spinal fluid too, which cures it. So every woman,
you cure your mind by curing it with drugs.
Yeah, or if you have a disease, pull the Charlie Sheen, just cure it with your mind.
Tiger blood.
Tiger's blood.
Yeah, that's right.
We just all learned how awesome tigers are this year.
Yeah, nobody knew before until that wonderful document. Thank you, Tiger King. Thank you, Netflix. Praise Netflix. Hail Netflix. Hail Netflix. Jim Tooner says, "Not even Lunar Baboon would lecture a black guy like this." Yeah, that's right.
Well, let's also face it. This guy, Donal, isn't lecturing a black guy like this either. In real life.
Yeah, not in real life. But the thing is, Lunar Baboon at least wouldn't make a comic, but about
I think
a black guy.
He's too cowed. He's too much of a true believer leftist.
Yeah, he's too much of a coward, which I guess is a good thing. I don't know.
They sainted black people who wrong.
Because I'm not saying, hey, go up to black people and tell them, hey, you're missing out on your polyamory. It's sort of like going up to that
going up to black people and saying, hey, people aren't slaves, man. Yeah. They can love who they want to.
Yeah, my girlfriend's not a slave. It's like, excuse me, this is a Wendy's, sir.
Listen up, bro. Slavery's over.
Please, do you want another Baconator or what? Yes, okay, yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
That's what Donald says.
Yes, he does.
He goes up to the black people at Wendy's and he's like, "Excuse me, my girlfriend's not a slave. We're in an open relationship. We're polyamorous." And they're like, "Do you want another Baconator or not?" It's like, "Well, yes, I would like two actually with extra."
What do you want? Another free refill? Yes.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah. Did you put fertilizer on your balls?
Yeah. That is not the issue.
Well, like this also sets you up for where like the paradox of the polyamorous person comes into play, because he's comparing friendship to a relationship.
Yeah,
where marrying somebody, you're doing it because you plan on raising a family, and love may be infinite, but time is not. So like you don't have enough time to differentiate between multiple partners and still devote the same amount of love, right? Versus like friendship is just
and
whatever,
you know it's really not.
But
you really know that he's not. Donald is not even close to differentiate. He's like not fucking, having a bunch of kids. He's not having more kids by being polyamorous. He's having, if anything, less or raising.
Wait a second.
Yeah, raising his boyfriend's son, his girlfriend's boyfriend's son.
I just realized that this like webcut comic, the whole point was to like convince Donal that his like poly life was okay.
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's lecturing a bunch of straw men that he built in a comic.
Maybe, and I guess you can't say he learned this from Caesar Copius Maximus, because this is before Ethan, grifted.
Yeah.
Or do you mean that this is him talking himself out of polyamory? Like he
No.
comics and then he like looked back and reread them. He's like, oh yeah, this is full of shit.
He instinctually somehow he does know that polyamory is a bad idea.
Well, he said it was a phase. These days, I think actually yesterday he tweeted being like, "Oh, that was a phase. I'm not into that anymore."
Yeah, phase. The day before
your girlfriend's boyfriend took your girlfriend away from you. Of course, you're not going to be into it anymore, because that is what the reality of polyamory.
But he also said that he didn't really remember the pizza.
Yeah,
so he's full of shit. He made
3 comics about it. Like,
and he also like tweeted about it like 5 times.
Yeah.
Isn't pizza also like the code word for pedophilia?
Yeah, that's
pizza.
No.
Yes. So he's,
to be honest, I mean, as a great man once said, a great genius man once said, sometimes a pizza is just a pizza. That was, I believe, Sigmund Freud from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Pizza is always really delicious. Pizza is like sex, even when it's bad. It's still pizza. Good. It's still pizza.
Yes, which doesn't mean it's good. It just means it's still pizza. I've had bad pizza.
Believe me, there is bad pizza. Don't tell me that. Oh, it's still pizza. No, the school lunch pizzas. That shit is vomit inducing, and I always went for it because it's like, it's
school lunch pizzas. Yeah, the school.
I would keep forgetting. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. This is terrible.
Cape Cuck comics. That's what this is.
But anyway, yeah, he's trying to convince himself, but
he's also
trying to also claim now that it's a phase. So he's trying to pretend now that he's over this.
That's what this strip is. It's a metaphorical lecture. He's using a metaphor to tell you stupid normies who can't understand how polyamorous is totally normal. Where the guy
and you have to think too.
The guy says,
you have to think too that the woman.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Well, I was
the thing keeps cutting out. I think you're being quiet.
Okay. Well, it's. I was just reading the comic, so if you're going to say something, you should do that.
Oh, I was gonna say like the polyamorous relationships. Like it also depends on who initiated it, right? Like the girlfriend probably is like, hey, I want to have an open relationship. And so because she's a sexual selector and she thinks that she can find somebody better than this guy and that she wants to keep her options open.
She also doesn't want to end up dropping this guy probably because he has money.
Yeah.
Donald probably has money.
Doesn't have to be a lot. Just
until she can find the next guy who will pay for her ride.
Yeah, and then
she left him.
Yeah, she left.
Yeah, that's the thing is, even if he had the money, she's always still going to be looking for a better option.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
And there's plenty of better options.
Yeah,
it's fucking
very
dumb.
low. He's very low on the rung.
It's obvious more now than ever that if somebody says, I want to be in an open relationship, it just means that they're already fucking somebody and they're looking for permission for what they've already done.
Right.
And if you allow that, then you are a doormat.
Yeah.
This is a guy trying to come to terms with being a doormat and thinking of it as being normal when it's anything but.
And by the way, also another thing worth pointing out is when this stuff came out and was posted to Kiwi Farms and the comics and his poly history and all that stuff. Donal did the exact same thing that he did on our stream when we did the deep dive. Was he tried to play it off like, it's pretty funny. I'm just laughing about it. I don't even care, which is, of course, as we all know, stage 4. But the thing is, it's very common behavior. It's the 0 out of 10, not even trolled lol for that's how you know somebody is fucking.
The next stage is I was trolling them all along.
Yes, exactly.
You're the ones who are being poured into a storm drain.
Yeah, exactly. And anyways, in the comic, so the guy says, I thought we were friends. And Donal says, we are. What's wrong? And the guy says, I saw you having lunch with Jerry. And Donal says, hey, he's cool, I like him too. And Guy says, no, when you're my friend, you're my friend. And Donal says, I don't know if this is going to work. And then last panel is Donal staring into your soul, you, the reader, judging him, you piece of shit. And Donal explained to you, you fucking loser, that monogamous people are weird.
Don't you see how he just knocked down the straw man?
Yeah, exactly. It's the XKCD level straw man, or short packed, or dumbing of age, also known as straw packed by Dave Dick Grasper Willis. But it's that exact same thing of looking at the reader and being like, do you see how stupid the thing you thought is?
He probably thinks he's really original too by doing this.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was a joke even by 2014. We had been making fun of this, not the specific comic, but other people, even more SJWE or SJWE for short than this. Somebody else, says, is this Andrew Dobson? It's on that same level. It's absolutely Andrew Dobson tier.
Here's one thing that is very peculiar, though, is he seems to have a really, really hard time sharing a co-partnership with creating comics.
Yeah, he shared enough for one lifetime.
Exactly.
Like his mind state.
Yeah, after you've been polyamorous and grown out of that phase, I guess you can't be polycreatorous or something like that. So if
Polycreative.
Polycreative. If somebody writes your entire comic for you, including the character, the world building, and future issues, you have to just steal credit for them. Which has
already shared his wife for fucking years. What more do you want from him?
Yeah, how much more sharing can one man do? And the answer is none. None more sharing.
I guess fucking Nasser must have been fucking his wife too.
Metaphorically, yeah. Nasser did something much worse than fuck his wife. He wrote his comic. Whoa. Yeah, look out for that. Here's the next page, because I have some tweets and shit too that I want to get to that are also in this wonderful folder. But
you could just basically sum this one up as cope and skip it.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah. So next comic, he's getting texts from some guy. Don be flirting with my girl. Don be.
Is he Jamaican? Yeah. He's getting like texts from a Jamaican guy.
He looks like
don't be flirting with my girl. Don't be looking at my girl.
It's like a Jamaican Italian.
Don't be touching my girl.
He's a total bumbaclot. He's total.
So
Donal DeLay is an absolute bumbaclot.
Yeah, confirmed for bumbaclot. But the Donal
this comic also seems to be making Donal look to be an abject moron. He just
understand basic concepts.
He just doesn't understand why somebody wouldn't want somebody else dating their girlfriend. If he's okay with it, why isn't everybody?
He's not taking the hint in this one. Also, he says after the text, I don't like to meddle in other people's relationships, but your boyfriend seems a little possessive, and so this
Total Chad comes up behind her.
Well, he's talking. It looks like he's talking to Kay here because there's a redhead there. So
she's a redhead. That immediately makes her Kay.
Immediately canon. She says though, it's kind of cute when he's jealous, and Donald says it's cute when he threatens you like a 5-year-old treats a tongue control. 5-year-old, a very immature 5-year-old.
Doesn't he? Again, it's a non-white that he's judging.
But yeah, he's judging. Notice how he judges them by saying, "Oh, you don't know. You're sloppy seconds. You're a 5-year-old." A lot of judgmentalness going on, judgmentality going on. But
it's really like he's trying to bury it again. And we speculated this. He was very likely raised by a single mother. In fact, I'm saying it for certain now. He's raised by a single mother and probably 4 older sisters.
Yeah, something like that.
And they use him as their emotional tampons his entire life.
Yes, he's Donal DeLay, emotional tampon. So, the last comic, the punchline is, he's not the violently jealous type, is it? And she says, no, he's a puppy, as Guy is standing behind. Now, why is he texting if he's right behind her? But he's also wearing that tap out shirt, which I believe was one of the shirts that
Carl was demanding 10 black graphic tees, the ones with the barbed wire, and they say tap out.
Or they say, I believe they said choke out was the one he wanted. And Shake got him the ones that say surfs up instead. And he's like, what is this? Carl was very upset.
This is not what I asked for.
Yeah, exactly. That is so much better and funnier and more interesting than this comic.
Well, no shit.
This is actually one of the more disgusting ones, though. This chick, here's the skinny chick from possibly earlier. Good morning. Sounds like it was. So he's hearing this broad just get fucking railed so hard. Wife's boyfriend buried his dick so deep in her. Whoever pulled him out was crowned king of England. So they hug.
He doesn't know how to draw cleavage.
Yeah, exactly. He draws cleavage with a bunch of disconnected lines. It has to be one solid line.
Cuck.
Cock. Did someone say cuck?
Cuck.
Did someone say weeaboo? But no, he goes, boobs, and then what's on your chest? And it's like some kind of whitish powder. And she's
actually animated from what I
thought it was glitter.
Yeah, let's assume stripper glitter or some shit.
It's not animated. I think it's just sort of glitched on the screen when I go back and forth.
I guess.
Something. I don't know.
But
so that is his girlfriend/wife person. That's what I'm assuming. He wasn't even invited to sleep with her. He was forced to sleep on the couch.
I think it's the other
being cock teased that basically.
I think it's the other.
That's all they treat. That's all they treat him like is like a fucking. They essentially are treating him like their.
So, is this like a tricycle or a quad? Like
this
relationship?
I think it's quad.
These like webcomics were funny. This one's just like have some fucking dignity.
Yeah, it's just kind of vague.
It's a quad, but with 3 front wheels and 1 back wheel.
No, because like I'm gonna assume it's like Donal, this tall, like the skinny hot one, and then the beefy guy with the beard and the hair. Like the 2 hot ones are banging all the time, and then you have like the dumpy, like Asian looking one. And then Donal sitting on the couch talking about Game of Thrones the whole time. That's what I'm getting from this comic is that the other people are the ones that are getting all.
I think the other dumpy girl is still getting more action than Donal is.
Probably from other places, but it doesn't really seem to.
Well, you get that impression from like the Lunar Baboon comic also was every time he was like, oh, can I hug you, wife who I am legally married to? And she's like, no, I don't feel like touching
I have
you.
a headache. Get away from me.
Yeah, get away from me. Just comic after comic after comic of that. And it creates an image of somebody who just has no affection in their life. And the person that they have a codependent, sick, mentally ill relationship with is just using them. But
they're also trying to cope. They're an incel.
Yes.
That is basically what involuntarily celibate means.
Yeah, it means you don't have a choice, as opposed to fucking people who do have a choice but don't fucking
Volcel.
Volcel.
The Chad Volcel.
Yeah, exactly. The Chad MGTOW level 4.8 monk ghost. Volcel. It's the most.
If he's so
You know-
comfortable with the polyamorous relationship, why is he angry that she has cum on her chest?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, aren't you used to it by this point? Who gives a shit? But also, that's the punchline. Is just it's kind of gross. The end.
Jim Turner's
Yeah.
like, stop talking about Tug and Lola. That it's implying that
No.
Lola is an attractive female. This is not her, obviously.
It's even worse than that. I don't know how many levels of worse all of this shit is. On the one hand, they're all cucks. On the other hand, they're also all ugly.
But also, on top of that, they're all compulsive liars and mentally ill and frauds and thieves.
They lie to themselves. I mean, you're lying to me.
grifters.
I don't appreciate that. But if you're lying to yourself, you've got serious problems.
Yeah.
You
got
know
problems.
this was a true story though. This come on the
Oh,
chest.
yeah, absolutely.
He didn't
Fucking
write
gross.
this. He did not write this.
Wait, the joke is that she said, he said, "Oh, come on," and she said, "Pretty much," because
Yeah.
she's just confirming that it's cum.
Again, it's
Play on words. I get
a
it.
really weak punchline.
So
Yeah.
it's a pun. That's how lazy he was.
Yes.
It's a pun.
That's how bad he is
And
at
it
writing.
took him 4 panels to get there.
Mhm.
Yes, 4 whole panels to get
Here's-
to a pun.
Here's his actual girlfriend. This is the one that you can tell is supposed to be.
She's got a receding hairline.
They docked.
I thought it was a sumo wrestler.
Yeah. Kind
It's
of.
his head shape, but flipped because like her chin is the back of his head.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's an upside down version of his own head. But yeah, I saw.
She's got a stronger chin than he does.
Yes.
He has a weak chin compared to his own wife.
He has a weak chin. He has a weaker principle of life. He has weaker integrity. I actually saw a picture, they got doxxed on Kiwi Farms, and I saw the stuff. And I'm not going to post any of that, of course. But I saw a picture of her. She doesn't even look this bad. She doesn't have blue hair. She doesn't have a head like a fucking square. She's overweight, but she looks normal as opposed to Donal.
She's overweight because she's pregnant, which is the point of this comic, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're coming up with baby names, and he's like, "Ew, sounds like a farm girl, Amelia,
Mhm.
and Amy Beth." Like, he doesn't like the alliteration suddenly. And then on here, like, she's like, "Winter is coming," and then he's thinking about his daughter, like, being sexually active, and it's not even born yet.
As well as a reference to fucking Game of
Normal.
Thrones. And
Game
like
of
that-
Thrones.
That's all the
totally
punch.
Topical.
Yeah. Oh, it's
He's-
topical. That's the
he's
punchline. Is
totally
Game of Thrones
adulting.
reference. Hey,
Whoa,
we know
he's
Game of
adulting.
Thrones reference. Here's Game of Thrones reference. That's the punchline. As well as my daughter will one day fuck other men.
Probably black men. my daughter will be half white, and I won't see the connection.
I'll probably be dead from a fucking like diabetic coma.
Oh yeah, there's
Isn't
no
that Robert
a
De Niro?
mass-
like,
A
syndrome?
massive heart attack, not even related to his weight.
Yeah, just a massive heart attack just from being mad. Or he'll
just from being such a loser, from being so hopeless.
He's thinner in this comic, notice, by the way. The same year, but he's
Probably because he drew it thinner, not because he lost weight.
all right. Anyway, so some guy, a bow tie guy says, "Whoa," and Donald says, "Go talk to her." And bow tie says, "No way." And Donald says, "Why not?" And bow tie again. I'm in a committed relationship.
I'm dressed like a nerd.
Yeah. Every single comic is about how I'm monogamous. Isn't that terrible? Doesn't life suck so much to only?
Who is he trying to convince?
Yeah, exactly.
And then his wife left him.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's really awful to be like committed to one person and love them unconditionally. It's really shitty and awful.
monogamy.
Definitely not
problems.
weird.
Yeah,
Just-
definitely
aren't
weird.
those just monogamy problems? Here's my least favorite monogamy problem: is a clean blood test.
Yeah, but is that a good
My
monogamy?
blood test says that I don't have any fucking infections. It doesn't hurt when I piss. It doesn't
This is
burn
just like
when I
a
piss.
confirmation the fact that Donal is morally bankrupt. He can't even help
Well-
his friend like stay in
Right.
his
I
monogamous
wouldn't even
relationship
care
or be
about this.
happy for him and what he
I would just
has.
see him as a loser. I would just see him as a loser otherwise. But the fact that he's trying to steal money from his own partners and then he's trying to
I'm not trying
badmouth
to. He did.
He's
He
trying
did.
to badmouth. Well, yeah, he's bad mouthing his own partners
lying. It's that
on the
not just
internet.
bad mouthing either. He's straight up lying. He's
character assassination at that point
he's
too.
libeling a business partner for no reason, not even for like a bad reason, but for no reason.
He blocked a couple of my friends, so he deserves it.
He blocked his customers too, I guess, which is supposed to be bad. You know what? It's funny. He's now blocking War Campaign is supposed to be good, but that was one of the things that Donald whined like a bitch about, as seen in our big giant stream. Is he started
Hashtag Nasser was right.
Yes, is that he started crying, being like, "You're blocking War Campaign." It's like, first of all, they're called War Campaign. Take the hint, Donald. Oh, too late. But and also take the hint.
Oh no, wait, he's in a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah,
there's no hint for him to take.
Yeah, exactly. Same for Ethan. I guess he should have listened to shitty webcomics, but the blocking War Campaign, it's like, get over it, just be a man and get over it. But Donald couldn't, and we can see very clearly why. And we really called this without even knowing even a hint of this. I didn't know shit about Donald, but we were like, yeah, there's something definitely wrong with this guy. And then all of a sudden this stuff comes out, and it's like all the pieces just falling.
None of this stuff surprises me. This stuff is like common for a lot of war campaigners.
Yeah, my main point about this, in fact, is that him being a polycuck webcomic creator still isn't as bad as being a lying thief, which he is. Anyways, so his response is just, "Oh, sucks to be you. Monogamy problems." Again, it's like lecturing monogamous people for, "Oh, you're stupid monogamy." So,
and just you can chalk it up to cope and skip that.
Here's another dumb one. What is Movember? You mean no shave November? No shave Movember? You mean November? Fucking. And he's like, "Oh, you don't grow."
And he gets it wrong. I can already see this immediately. He gets the description wrong. It's just men who don't shave for a month.
God damn it, Greta.
Fucking cat is fucking this all up.
Yeah. Knocking over my little bag of rocks.
Anyway, so I don't even know what the punchline for this one's supposed to be, but he's like, "I always wondered why everyone suddenly looks like a serial child molester all month." Do they all month? Is it just
What?
But yeah, nice spreading some anti-male blood libel there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes when you're part of the pro-conservative comics movement called War Campaign. Is you just let people slime all men in that way, and you don't respond to it or answer it.
You just sit there like the doormat that you are. No wonder you're stealing money from Nasser. You're just you're a coward. But and a cuck. Whoa.
I mean, that's
he's insensitive to boot.
He's not even sensitive. Anyways,
but yeah, he's also blocking people. He's going around blocking people.
Oh, wait, you're supposed to be respecting customers. You can't respect customers if you're blocking people. Why is he doing that? That's kind of stupid and cowardly. It's for sure bad.
Can't respect customers if you can't even respect the mother of your child.
Yes. Well, the mother of a child, anyway.
Child, yeah. Who knows who it is?
It's a child, all right.
There's
a child. I don't know.
This one is instead of
that's fucked.
Yeah.
He changed the name of his comic.
Yeah, the comic name changed. Instead of Polycomic, now it's Some Kinda Comic. I don't know if
Polycomic was already generic. I guess it wasn't generic enough.
Yes. So yeah, this is 2015. I had to zoom this one up a lot, so it's really blurry. But she says, "I hate that I can't find maternity clothes that fit me without making me look like a house." And he says, "You're a little chubbier than most women. It would probably hard to do." And she's like, "What?" And he says, "Not what I meant. Most pregnant women are skinny, gangly little things, right? Aren't they?" And he's laughing.
This almost turned into a joke.
He looks like he's cringing, like she's gonna beat him, and so he's like wincing in advance to don't hurt me.
It's actually, unfortunately, we can't be sure what the fuck is supposed to be happening.
I don't know what emotion that is.
He apparently wrote this.
Yeah, he wrote this and drew it, so who the fuck knows what's supposed to be?
It's a fucking mess.
But that certainly fits in well with Comicsgate, because most of the artists, well, pretty much every artist in Comicsgate can't get a facial expression right. And you should see the way that Ethan Van Sciver draws faces. It's a fucking train wreck. It's hilarious.
Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Yeah, this one is literally just copy pasted 4 times.
And there's no punchline. It's like, you can see her moving. I want to see. I think she settled down, so he leaves. Wait, she's active again. Damn it.
It means that she doesn't like him. The
But
baby
he also-
doesn't like the boy.
He also didn't draw anything different.
Here's also this right here is a funnier comic than or a
Looks
more
like
interesting comic
somebody's
than-
memeing on him.
You know what? Also, I just remembered. Donal is the one who opened up conversation with Nasser with "Sigh."
Yes, it's his biggest crime of all. The ultimate red flag is
That's
he
worse than
opens up
anything.
a dialogue with another man with sigh in stars.
Yeah, that's right.
This image is special because his wife and her boyfriend got him a Switch so that he wouldn't be bored while they fucked.
That's nice of that. Well,
So when was this?
He'd have something to do while they're banging.
2012, 2014.
This looks like Emperor. I don't know if that's this picture or the
When
previous.
he was, wait, it
This
actually
this one does look like Mpreg, to be honest, which means I guess it would fit in very well with his spiritual friend, spiritual successor, Dobson. We got Dobson here. See, nobody cares. But anyways,
look, everyone is Dobson.
See,
Nobody cares. Nice hat.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. This is, I mean, it's clearly
The only thing that these pictures of him and these drawings of him are missing are a fedora.
Yeah, that's true. He's desperately missing a fedora. I wish he was wearing one.
He is a fedora lord.
But anyways, here's
the Switch came out in 2017. I actually don't remember which year the Switch came out, but yeah, this is a Photoshop.
Yeah, it's obviously a Photoshop. I stole this from Kiwi Farms without credit. I'm not giving credit to anyone.
It's still accurate though.
Yeah,
just ignore the year.
His weird facial expression is off-putting though. It's like
just replace the Switch with the Wii U or the Wii.
This one though, dear
Yes.
Mensch with his face, and I was just it made me so curious why somebody photoshopped a picture of Vincent D'Onofrio right before he shoots himself from Full Metal Jacket onto this picture. I don't understand.
I don't get it. It has something to do with Donal DeLay, I guess, because Donal DeLay is a substandard specimen of humanity.
Is Donal DeLay genetically inferior?
And can you tell it just based on his facial structure and head shape?
Yeah, his uneven, asymmetrical skull shape. What about
his eyes? Look at how dark his eyes are too. The
physiognomy is real.
Under his eyes.
Yeah, look at the
bags.
At some point, it's not
of his eyes, though. I mean, I've got some eye bags from lacking sleep because I like staying up nights. His eye bags are the dark pits go above the eye.
Yeah,
maybe
like
he looks
maybe he was abused. Maybe it's sexual abuse.
He's been binging Krispy Kreme for like months.
Oh, that might be
days on end.
The blood, it's necrotic tissue.
Yeah, exactly. It's not bags. They're just the skin is just dying.
Yo, do you guys?
I thought maybe he just got told twice.
Do you guys know why his name is Donal and not Donald?
Because he's a dumb faggot.
Because he's so fat he can no longer find his little D.
That's not bad.
He can no longer.
Yes.
That's funnier than his actual comic.
See, that's a joke.
See,
that's what's called a joke.
You see, Donal, that's a joke.
But I guess he still doesn't understand that.
I just love Der Untermensch. It's very judgmental to call him Der Untermensch, but I guess not as judgmental as his own comics where he's fucking telling black people, "Hey, you're missing out."
I won't call him
It's a perfect cutoff right there. I wouldn't call him and
that was probably one of the best lines you're gonna fucking hear in a lifetime.
That was it. Believe me, it was so good. Well, if you want to repeat it, go ahead though.
Is a fucking Untermensch. I wouldn't even refer to him as any kind of mensch.
That actually is a good line. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the whole folder. I don't know where any more comics are. Like, we could be missing out on a bunch of other comics that he did on Tumblr. It's really a shame. I guess we have to leave off.
I wonder if maybe he'll ever write like a book or something. Maybe he'll draw a book someday.
Oh, you know what? I don't care.
Hey, I don't care.
Besides, man, who the hell cares? So, that's pretty much it. And again, he's a cuck, literal cuck all this time, but
he's also cope cuck. He's a
cope cuck. He's a cope cuck, but the thing is, again, it's still not nearly as bad as him being a lying fraud and thief.
Yeah, this is the best stuff we've heard. These are by far the most positive elements of his personality we've discovered.
Yeah, this is only the good parts of dumb fatty. Dumb.
First off, he actually drew a comic at some point.
Fatty 2x4 over here. The least negative thing about him is this comic that he did actually finish, as opposed to a bunch of his fucking Comicsgate comics that are still late, not finished yet, not coming out, and
he's trying to rip off his own partner who actually did the work that he didn't do. The fucking Donal didn't do. He did not do any of that.
Donal begged scyphily for someone else to write the fucking comic for him, because he's like, I want this, shallow derivative of Lobo and Wolverine, but I want someone else to actually write it for me. And it's like, oh, you lazy sack of shit. Okay, go.
Because he's too busy being Polly.
You pizza burner, you goddamn pizza
He
burner.
ruined a pizza. He crucified the pizza.
How much you want to bet when he doesn't have the money to pay Nasser? He's just like, you want to fuck my wife?
Fuck my wife?
Fuck my wife. How about if I suck your dick? How about if I prep you? How about if you be the bull, Nasser?
Yeah,
and I'll prep you.
Donal will offer to suck Nasser's dick in lieu of payment. But you know what? I don't think that's good enough.
I would advise Nasser not take that offer.
Yes, turn that offer down. That's my opinion. That's just it's not my professional opinion or anything.
You don't know how many guys are fucking his wife. You don't. You can do better, Nasser.
Where'd you get your balls big enough to ask me that?
If he knows that it's 2, it's probably 8.
First of all, you'd have to come in here with balls. That's important. And speaking of which, Donal didn't do that tonight, by the way. He didn't come in here with balls.
He didn't come in here at all. He's such a coward. He didn't even come into our chat.
Never showed up. He's not even here.
He never showed up in the comments.
He never happened.
What a fucking dolt.
Today is history. So anyways,
it's history. Well, most especially is not only did he never come in here, but he also blocks people.
He blocks people all the time. But he also then lies, because he's been caught in a bunch of lies over and over again. He's a compulsive liar, which is completely common and in tune.
And also, I would absolutely say, by all means, keep that up. Just keep doing it. Just keep digging your grave.
Yeah, Donal,
until you're 6 feet under.
Keep doing what you're doing.
It's not going to be long with the diabetes and clogged arteries.
You just look at his face. That's the face of someone who's not long for this world.
He does not look like a happy person either.
No, he looks miserable with fucking.
His wife's boyfriend took his wife.
Look at that one too.
Here, wait, nothing for us on Photoshop.
You didn't even show this one before.
I did earlier because we were very upset about it.
I don't think you showed it on the stream though. We didn't talk about it on the stream.
Yeah, we said it was
again, he does not. He looks so miserable. I mean, he deserves to be miserable, but he deserves to be more miserable.
Yeah, he looks like he looks just unhappy. He's also trying to look like a badass, but he looks like, I have something in my eye instead of actually being bad. He's just stupid and sad.
There's something in his eye. It's called his entire eye. The fucking eye bags are getting so heavy they're blinding him.
His face is so fat. He has something in his eye. It's fat.
Yo, Thomas, pull up the meme I sent you in DMs. Can you?
Is there one in which DMs?
Discord.
Oh shit! Now this is fucking all flickering. Oh yeah, that's right. This one was Okay, you know, we'll end on that. Let me unscreen share, stop screen. That's the fucking. It's fucking. Wait, did I? Oh wait, no,
I didn't see this yet. So
yeah, hold on a second. I'm fucking.
this is gonna be gold. This is gonna be
gold.
gold. I already know.
Gold, Jerry. It's gold.
Always believe in your soul.
Your silver. Occasionally believe in your soul. Okay, now I have to just re-screen share. That's the magic of screen sharing.
And we'll cut off after this.
Yeah, but I can just share the whole second screen. But yeah, this one. The funny thing is, this still makes him look fucking, thinner than it's obvious that he is.
Black is very slimming.
Yeah, you know what they say about Black. It's very slimming.
And it's in his wife.
Did he eat one of his headphones? Oh no,
Yeah,
it's one.
That's right. He's only got one headphone. I
was gonna say one is blue in the direction of the blue pill, and the other one is just gone. Did he eat it? Oh, it's a headset.
That was the pill.
Yeah, it was the blue pill. He was just
the blue pill. The blue pill was a blue sugar pill.
Yeah, it was a sugar pill.
An entire earphone.
Donal DeLay is the only one who intentionally wants his doctor to prescribe placebos. He wants his doctor to prescribe placebos.
You try that
because
again.
He wants the sugar. He wants to just take pills full of sugar.
He wants the sugar pills.
Yeah,
he's like, just inject it into my blood, please, doc.
Yes.
Just send me an IV drip.
Into his spinal column, along with all the sperm of those guys from his wife's son, and his wife's son is fucking her.
His wife's son. Oh no,
there's incest going on now. This is, I mean, how much more of a mess?
More disgusting.
Donal, you degenerate.
He's first.
Pat, you've been watching was it Hannibal recently, right?
Yeah.
Like the coma, like what did they call that? The keto acidosis coma thing that one guy put the diabetics.
I haven't watched their
season. From the first. No, it should be from the first season. It's like the Mushroom Garden one where like he puts the diabetic people into a coma by activating their like sugar coma.
He was giving diabetic people sugar. So they go into a diabetic coma, and then he would bury them in the ground.
And then grow mushrooms on them.
Yeah, that would eat through their faces and stuff.
There's some really weird killers in that show. They do like a lot of Killer of the Week episodes.
Yeah, well, pretty much all of it's like Killer.
The guy who fucking puts people's tears into martini glasses shows up in season 2.
Yeah. What a terrible.
It's all over the place. Like scenes from what is it? Hannibal. Like if you I watched the movies after I rewatched the Hannibal show again, and I was just like, all of these movies are an amalgamation of what they used for the show.
Yeah.
And then they made certain people like Freddie Lounds is a guy in the movies, and then
I was so looking forward to her being lit on fire in a wheelchair and rolled down the street, but I don't know if that's going to even happen because not to spoil things, but Chilton.
Well, I guess I better not spoil this
outcome.
I guess I better not spoil this. Yeah, they are taking a bit of a different approach. I don't even know if
you know what I gotta say though, Hannibal. Way more interesting than this stupid faggot's dumb comics.
This fictional television show about a fake serial killer. Way more interesting than this probably actual serial killer child molester.
Yeah, it's more interesting than this guy's real life. But the thing is, he fits in perfectly with War Campaign and comics. That's why this guy's been drawing comics for War Campaign because, like them, they're all compulsive liars. Ethan Van Sciver, of course, was.
They're all incredibly stupid.
Yeah, they're incredibly stupid. They're compulsive liars, but constantly getting caught lying, constantly getting caught contradicting themselves, as Ethan has.
And when they get caught, they're not smart enough to try and drop it or bury it. And of course, they're in the wrong. So they can't do anything like refute it with facts.
Somebody mentions he has a book for 99 cents on Comixology from 2014. I don't know. Also, I won't promote it, but you know what is 99 cents on Comixology from 2019 is literally #1. Check it out on Comixology.
I would easily recommend that. That's the thing is, if people want to, they can donate to our Patreon, donate $1, and we'll be able to afford getting his comic from Comixology from 2014 to read. But we're not going to do that. We're going to take your $1 and we're going to pay the electrical bill with it or something.
Get a cheeseburger from McDonald's with it.
Do you guys have to pay the electrical bill in the basement?
Yes, yeah, there's
The whole
electricity
basement.
does show up. There is some electricity in the basement.
Electricity
In mom's
falls down
basement with mom.
into the basement.
Mom's house basement with mom.
She lives under the basement.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, by the way, I have print copies of Literally. I plan to actually just do a video about that, being like, hey, these print copies, Literally, I have them already. It's like only 20 copies. I plan on keeping 5 for myself, so I'll probably be selling 15. I'm going to sell them for a ridiculously marked up price. That'll be coming soon. Anyone who is interested, though, if you can go ahead and contact me.
It's going to be a promotional donation comic.
Yeah, it's like a fundraiser run for the comic.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be $50 per issue, and that's not a joke. But hey, at least we're not sending you a fucking cardboard box with it.
Doesn't Patreon have the option to do like limited tiers where you could set it to be like $50 donation, and then you can make it like
only a certain amount. Yeah, you can do that.
I was thinking of doing that. I was thinking of selling it over Patreon, so I might do that. But again, there's a lot of stuff going around that we're keeping up with so far. We had to play Warframe and do some farming of blueprints, but we had such a run
today. You know what? Oh man,
all about it. But
what a great day we had in Warframe today. We got the 2 blueprints from the same run.
Yeah, it's usually a very rare chance, but we got them both at the same time. Anyways,
we also got some Neo relics.
Oh, that's even better. Well, no, that's not better. Who cares? Anyway, so yeah, unlike reshare, uncomment. Thanks to Doug and Kay and DA Talks for being on with us.
Thanks to me.
Thanks to myself. We're all here today in praise of me.
No thanks to Donal DeLay. His existence is a drain on the human race.
Yeah, cowardly thief and compulsive liar, Donald DeLay, and incompetent artist, and a cuck on top of all of that. I mean, I guess that's not
the word cuck is kind of overused, but when somebody is going around just trying to brag about, trying to justify their life as
when you're unironically saying my wife's boyfriend, yeah, pretty much cuck. If you've applied,
you deserve to be made fun of for that.
Yes, you don't deserve to be called a cuck. You deserve to be made fun of. That's the important thing. So, anyways, yeah. Unlike, make sure you're still on. Oh yeah, do the John Malin: subscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe, and give us money on Patreon and all that just shit in the below bar. Should have listened to Shitty Webcomics, and you're welcome.
Fuck that's good, pepperoni.
And
fuck that's his catchphrase.